Joining us now are Tom Levine, an attorney who works for MI Legalize, one of those groups that we told you about with the proposal on the table, and former House Majority Leader Rocky Raczkowski. Now, first of all, Tom, a big day for your group. You get the permission to petition for this, basically. Why are you pushing for it now?
Well, now's the time. I mean, prohibition has failed. It's safer than alcohol, and we have a very professional group together, campaign managers, 4 attorneys on the committee. We're going to get this done. Now's the time. We're going to put it on. We're going to be collecting signatures this summer.
Tom, you're not the only one, though. We mentioned there are a couple groups here trying to legalize marijuana. How did we end up with, I believe it's 3 different groups in all trying to really kind of achieve the same goal?
Well, I believe that ours is the most serious one. We represent a grassroots effort, really, as well as the patients and caregivers. We have a 13-member board statewide involved. These other 2 groups are newcomers, and they represent, one of them represents big business for sure, and the other has too much trust that they are leaving to the state.
Rocky, we'll bring you in on this conversation right now. I know
Sure.
You've been against this in the past, but as you heard Bernie say, attitudes in the state are starting to trend upwards. Younger voters getting involved. Is now perhaps the time to go ahead and embrace this?
Absolutely not. And you've got to understand what Bernie Porn actually talked about regarding polling. He's polling now a larger group of people that will vote in a presidential election as opposed to testing a group that would vote in a gubernatorial election. So the numbers have actually not been an uptick. It's an uptick if you look at presidential elections to a gubernatorial election. But across the entire United States, you're seeing numbers actually on this issue drop. And even the numbers that Bernie showed, it showed a statistical dead heat of people that support it and people that are against it.
What's your opposition to it?
Well, I voted for, when I was in the state legislature, I voted for supporting the use of medical marijuana for people that have chronic pain and chronic illnesses. My issue is this. 1.5% of Americans right now are collecting Social Security disability under the guise of being addicted to marijuana. Furthermore, that's number one. If for anybody to say that it's not addictive, it's just false. Sugar could be addictive. Casino gambling is addictive. Well, marijuana use right now by the Social Security Administration is considered addictive. My problem is I don't want my taxpayer money being spent to support a marijuana habit. Furthermore, everyone knows, this is uncontested, that marijuana stays in your bloodstream for about 28 days. That's why you can test for it, from cutting your hair to checking your blood for or your urine up to 28 days.
All right, Rocky, Tom, does he have any points here, you think?
No, these are all disproven lies that have supported prohibition for a long time. This is much safer than alcohol. You never hear about a marijuana smoker going home and beating their wife or committing violent acts.
Tom.
It's absurd to assert these myths that had supported this.
How long does marijuana stay in your bloodstream, Tom? How long does marijuana stay in your bloodstream?
It's because it goes through your fat. It doesn't mean that you remain high the entire time.
Rocky, what is your point? Is your point that by it remaining in your bloodstream you are high and you may be out driving and doing things? Is that your concern with that point?
It's statistically and scientifically proven that it stays in your bloodstream, it stays in your body, diminishes your brain cells and brain cell activity, and chronic use over a period of time denigrates the ability of the mind to function at the same level that it did prior to the marijuana use. And what's interesting is what's recent, Northwestern University, which is not a mecca to conservative thought, did a study, and they studied marijuana brains of individuals that used marijuana, and they showed that the brains significantly change. They significantly change.
Rocky and Tom, both of you, about the only place we can really test any of this in the real world is Colorado, which of course has legalized it. And we understand fatal accidents there have been flat in the past year. Violent crime has actually dropped for the first year after legalization. So right now the numbers
it has across the country.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't seem to support the fact that this stuff is dangerous, but
Steve, homelessness is up.
Administrative law judge Young has ruled that this is one of the most benign medications on the globe.
Well, we're not talking about medication.
The U.S. government,
illicit drug.
The U.S. government holds a patent on marijuana use as a neuroprotectant, and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has issued dozens of patents using marijuana as a medicine.
Tom, how many signatures do you need, and are you confident you'll get them?
I'm very confident that we'll get them. We have a very professional organization together with 2 campaign managers, and plenty of time to get this on the ballot. And this will not need to go to the legislature, just to correct the lead-in part of your story. This will be voted on by the electorate. And
so take it right out of the hands of Rocky and the
Tom,
gang, huh?
I disagree. If you're collecting 250,000 signatures, it's going to go in front of the legislature. There's a legislative initiative and a ballot initiative. If you're collecting more than 250,000, then sure, it'll go straight to the ballot. But you're collecting 250,000. That's what the news media has been reporting.
All right,
Is that wrong?
Tom Levine.
No, this is a legislative initiative rather than a constitutional amendment.
We will straighten this out later on. Right now, the debate wasn't over the petition. The debate is over marijuana itself. So we want to thank you both, Tom Levine and Rocky Rutschkowski. Thank you both for joining us today on The Now.
Thank you.